الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
We are still on that verse of Surah Nisa, chapter 4 of Quran, verse 36. And we have started with the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have talked about that, and the rights of the parents and the relatives, and the rights of orphan and the needy ones in the society, in the community, and also the rights of the neighbors, the three types of neighbors. And last week we discussed the rights of the neighbors, which was the number 8. So we are today on the number 9. That's Wabn Sabil, Wayfarer. To start with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He mentioned Ibn Sabil, Wayfarer, in different 8 places in the Quran. Different 8 places in the Quran. Let's visit them quickly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, in Surah Al-Isra, I chose to start with Surah Al-Isra because it's Surah Makkiyah, the Meccan version of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا. And give the qurba, the kinsman, his due, وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ, and give the wayfarer his due. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He repeated this in Surah Al-Rum, is Surah Makkiyah as well. Allah said, فَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَ اللَّهِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So give the dhil qurba, the kindred, their due, and give to the orphan, and give to the wayfarer. And this is the best for those who are seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is they who will be the successful ones. 2 places. Then in the ayat al-Madaniyah, the verses that were revealed in Medina, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, لَيْسَ الْبِرُّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ وَلَكِنِ الْبِرُّ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالْكِتَابِ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ وَآتَى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين. Allah said, it is not the only act of piety or righteousness to turn your faces towards the east or the west, but righteousness and piety who believes in Allah, the last day, angels, the books revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the prophets. And He gives the wealth in spite of love for it, in spite of the fact that He loved the wealth, but He gives it to the needy ones, to the orphans, and to the wayfarer. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the same Surah Al-Baqarah repeated, يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلْ مَا أَنْفَقْتُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ فَلِلْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ وَالْيَتَامَى وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ. They ask you what they should spend. Tell them, whatever you spend of good, it should be for, or it must be for the parents, for the relatives, for the poor ones, and for the wayfarer. In Surah Al-Baqarah still. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the 5th place, He mentioned also, all these 3 or 4 places we have mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing private individuals like me and you, members of the society, to come to the help of the wayfarer. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't stop at that. He came also into the public treasury, and He made portion for the wayfarer. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about ghanima in Surah Al-Anfal, ghanima means the booty, the war booty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَأَنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ. He said, and know that whatever you gain of war booty, 1/5 of it is verily assigned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to the relatives, and to the poor ones, and to the orphan, and to the wayfarer in ghanima. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about fay, and fay is different from ganima. It is ganima, but it's different from ganima slightly. Ganima is what Muslim gained as a result of the war. We understand? After struggle, when they defeat their enemy, then they claim their properties. This is ganima. But fay is what has been come across of without any struggle. You understand? When you target the enemy he flee, and then you took their properties. So without struggle, this is fay. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke of fay as well in Surah Al-Hashr, He made mention of the wayfarer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ما أفاء الله على رسوله من أهل القرى فلله وللرسول ولذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل. A portion for Ibn Sabil. This is public treasury. And when he comes to the issue of zakat, he made mention of Ibn Sabil as well. In Surah At-Tawbah, he said, إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ. You should know that the sadaqat, the zakat should be given to للفقراء والمساكين وابن السبيل والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله. It is a prescription that imposed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the 8, this is number 7. The number 8 is the very verse that we are discussing. In Surah Nisa 36, Allah ta'ala says, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ. So the question is, why is it that Islam has given so much concern to the wayfarer? And who is the wayfarer, by the way? Who is the wayfarer? The wayfarer is a traveler. Is a traveler who is cut off from his family, from his hometown, and he ran short of means. You understand? He ran short of resources to proceed on his journey. So this is the wayfarer. You understand? Is that clear? This is the wayfarer in Islam. Someone who is on transit, traveling, but he lacks sufficient money to continue his journey. So this is the wayfarer. You understand? So Islam has attached this importance to him. And he mentioned the wayfarer in 7, 8 different places. Why is it so? The answer is very simple. The answer is that Islam, as a religion, has encouraged traveling for different reasons. Has encouraged traveling. One, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encouraged people to travel through the earth in their search for the livelihood, for their earnings. We understand. For business trips, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed them to do that and has encouraged that in Islam. We read in the Quran, Allah ta'ala said, هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ ذَلُولًا فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا وَكُلُوا مِنْ رِزْقِهِ وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ. It is He, Allah, who has made the earth to be subservient to you, to serve you. Therefore, you should go through the earth, travel through the earth, so that you eat from the provisions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made abundant for you in the earth. So it's encouraging you to travel. And Allah said in a different place, وَآخَرُونَ يَضْرِبُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ يَبْتَغُونَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. And Allah knows very well that some of you, they are traveling through the land on the earth, looking for or searching for the provisions. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the requirement of religion so simple for them. The salah, He asked them to do it qasr. We understand? He asked them also not to fast and whatever. He made the religion so easy for them in recognition of what they are doing. So Allah has encouraged people to go on that. And Allah has encouraged people to travel in search for knowledge. You understand? And also to study the signs of Allah's mighty in the universe. Allah has encouraged that in so many verses. But one verse of Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, travel in the earth and see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala originated the creation. And that will prove to you that Allah is able to create you once again in the day of judgment. So this ayah, as Imam al-Qardawi has mentioned, it seems to be pointing at the geological inquiry of this our time. Understand? Because Allah said, قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانْظُرُوا كَيْفَ بَدَأَ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ اللَّهُ يُنشِئُ النَّشْأَةَ الْآخِرَةَ. Tell them, سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, travel through the earth and see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala originated the creation. So, and this is what geologists are doing. And like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is essentially doing that. And in general terms, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging people to travel in search for knowledge. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in other places also encouraged people, or He asked them, or He even decreed that they should travel to spread the religion. Understand? To spread the religion so that Islam should reach each and every place of this world. Because the overall objective of Islam is the entire humanity, to teach them. So to travel for that mission is sanctioned by Islam and is encouraged by Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also encouraged people to travel so that to join their link of kinship, to visit their relatives and to visit the beloved ones and to visit their friends, their brothers in Islam. There's hadith we all know that someone who traveled to visit a brother in Islam for sake of Allah, Allah sent an angel to meet him on his way and inform him of good news from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah loves him because he visited his brother. So this is encouragement for traveling. So since Islam has sanctioned and has encouraged people to travel, there's no wonder to provide means and the way of assisting people to carry out this objective. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala paid that concern to a wayfarer. You understand? So what's the due of wayfarer? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَ حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ, and give to the wayfarer his due. What's that right of wayfarer? That we are asked to give from the public treasury and we are asked to give from our private pockets. What's that? There are three things. One is feeding, to feed him, the wayfarer, feed him or her, and also to feed his or her dabba. Two things in feedings: feed him and to feed his dabba. Dabba is the means of transportation he is using to transport himself. In those days, they used animals like donkeys, like horses and whatever, you understand? So you feed them. And in these days, we are using machines which consume what? Feed. So therefore, you feed him and you also fuel his, whatever he's using. Or you give him the transport money so that to pay the public transport. Two, shelter, accommodation. A wayfarer should be given accommodation, a place to stay for the number of days he is wishing to stay before he proceeds. And also a wayfarer is entitled to resources sufficient to take him to his destination and back home where necessary. These three things are entitlements of wayfarer, are dues of wayfarer. Allahu Akbar. Umar ibn Khattab, during his time, Khalifa, the second Khalifa of Islam, about 1400 years back, Umar ibn Khattab, he built special houses within the Medina and also in between Mecca and Medina. And those houses were called Travelers' Lodge. The houses were called Travelers' Lodge. And in those houses, there are foodstuffs, you understand, in the houses. And there are any other stuffs that a traveler will need or a guest will need is provided there. And also means of transportation, something that will carry him from one point to another, to the next point, next settlement of people, is provided. Since those days, Umar ibn Khattab has made that provision. So that's to tell you, Islam is a great religion, and there's no any comparable story that history of human being can tell like this. In those days, 1400 years back, there were no restaurants, no travelers' lodge, nothing on the road. But Umar ibn Khattab placed that. And also Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, few years after Umar ibn Khattab, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, when he came, he improved upon that. He made a comprehensive scheme for travelers. What he did, he asked Ibn Shihab al-Dhuhri, one famous scholar of hadith, to advise him on how to cater for the travelers. Acting on that advice, he made special budgetary allocation for the Wayfarer, whereby on each road of those days, they made provisions for houses, and also administrators were appointed, and all the needs of the Wayfarer were taken care of in such a way that no Wayfarer will come across those houses, without his needs being adequately taken care of. In those days, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. And you will find more explanation about this when you read At-Tabaqat for Ibn Sa'd, volume 3 of At-Tabaqat Ibn Sa'd, and page 283. There's explanation about the scheme of Umar ibn Khattab, and also as regards the Wayfarer, and also the schemes of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. That of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz is available in Al-Amwal, a book written by Abu Ubaidah, page 580. There's sufficient explanation about that. But for a Wayfarer to be entitled to such assistance and help from the Muslim community, there's condition. The condition is that his journey must be in consonance or in agreement with Islam. It must be one that's approved by Islam, accepted Islamically. We understand. It should be either such a trip which Islam requested from the Muslim community to even fund it as a matter of obligation. Like someone who travels to spread the religion, we understand? Or someone who travels on humanitarian mission. These are things required of the Islamic community to do it. So in that case, it is even obligation for the Islamic community to fund it, to help them. Or it should be a lawful journey for his own benefits, which is not beneficial to the community at large, but it is beneficial to him, and Islam has approved that. For example, if he is traveling on like a commercial mission, that is trade trip or whatever, understand? This is approved and is allowed. It is for his own benefit, but it is lawful in Islam, so should be assisted. But if someone travels on some mission which is unacceptable Islamically, if someone comes to you, he said, I'm a Wayfarer, help me, he prayed with you, he's a Muslim, where are you traveling to? I'm going to Brussels. What are you going to do? I'm going to visit my girlfriend. This is what's taking him there. Okay? Do you intend to marry her? No, just she's my girlfriend, my wife is at home, I used to visit her from time to time. Do you help him? No, this is not acceptable in Islam. Or something that is no need at all for it. Someone says, I'm traveling to Germany just to do what? To watch the football match. This is what I'm going to do. But I run short of resources, and I see this is Islamic center, Muslim can come to my help to assist me. Where are you going? Are you now going back home or going? No, I have to go and watch it. After watching it, I'll go back home. What do you need from us? I need you to finance my journey to and back. This is not acceptable Islamically. It's not approved. Therefore, you are not obliged to help him, to assist him. So this then, can someone who is in his hometown but has genuine request, has genuine cause for traveling, be assisted as Wayfarer? I don't know if you get this. Like myself, I'm here now. I haven't started the journey yet, but I want to travel. I haven't got money to travel. Can I be regarded as wayfarer, entitled to such assistance to finance my journey, my trip?
Journey to where?
To wherever I'm going.
I'm not going to Germany.
What's the problem?
If the purpose is Islamically approved,
Yes,
of course,
yeah.
yeah.
You are.
If you don't have assistance, you don't have money, you should help.
It's a benefit.
well,
But you're not in Sabil, you're not Ibn Sabil, you're still in your home.
good, that's the point. That's the point. Because I didn't say, do I deserve assistance? I said, can I be regarded as wayfarer? No, I can't be regarded as wayfarer. Because the wayfarer must be on his way. He has already set out for the journey, but along the way, he lacks the means to continue the journey. You understand? This is the wayfarer. But if someone has good cause, genuine cause to travel, but he hasn't started the journey, he would be assisted out of zakah and other funds, but not as wayfarer. Should be assisted as faqir. You understand? The only person that could be assisted as wayfarer, there are two people. As the contemporary ulama have said, there are two people. One, asylum seeker. He should be assisted as wayfarer. Two, is a student that's traveling for knowledge, to get knowledge. And his knowledge is going to be beneficial to the society. The community is in need of that field of study. So such a person should be assisted as a wayfarer. This is allowed. So therefore the scholarship scheme can come under the wayfarer. That is Ibn Sabil. Can be funded from zakah and from ganima and from private pockets. You understand? So wayfarer, asylum seeker, wayfarer can be also assisted. Yeah, and some ulama say under the wayfarer, if someone is in a need to visit parents, the parents are somewhere else or the family are somewhere else, and he needs to see his family, just like myself. Understand? So should that be assisted? Yes, should be assisted not as wayfarer, but should he be assisted out of zakah? Zakah funds, they said yes, you should be assisted out of zakah fund. You should be assisted out of zakat fund so that to carry out the objective, because this objective is Islamically accepted ones. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy to assist the wayfarer. But what is important is, the wayfarer, when he comes to you, do you have to find out whether he got money or not to assist him? Is it a condition? Is it a condition for you to assist the wayfarer? You have to be certain, you have to do all necessary investigation to know that, yes, he lacks money, he needs assistance. Or you just go ahead to help him. You don't have to do all that. By simply saying that I am wayfarer, I'm traveling, and I run short of means to travel, you are now required by religion, by Islam, to assist him and help him. No matter how nice he looks, you have to assist him. He came driving a flashy car, which is more expensive than yours, and he's wearing some. He's wearing just more expensive than yours, as it appears, and also he's looking good, well fed. Still, you help him if you have the means, particularly if you have a special funds for wayfarer, which is good for Islamic society, community to have it, because this captures the beauty of Islam over and above any other system. Islam does not just only consider the needy ones within the community, within the residents, but Islam also cater for the external exceptional circumstances that may present themselves to the community without notice, like wayfarer. That explains the distinction of Islam. So you don't have to know whether the man has money or not. Once he says that, you give him. the trust is there between Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Good da'wana, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen.